sometimes we think we create babies. We say things like, look, this cute thing we created. We think that when we wanted to have children and then we did what we needed to do to have children, that's when the process started. And therefore we think it's our child, it's our making, it's our baby. We are the one who formed this person. But the Bible in Jeremiah chapter 1 verse 5 says, God talking to Jeremiah, before I formed you, I know you. Before you came to the womb, I sanctified you and ordained you to be a prophet. Basically, he's saying, before I knitted you in your mother's womb, I already had an idea about Jeremiah. And I believe this applies to every one of us. Before we were knitted in our mother's womb, before our parents decided, they wanted to have children, or maybe we came by, before all that, God had already decided there's going to be a Janet, there's going to be a Humphrey, there's going to be somebody coming. And then when our parents did what they needed to do for a child to happen, then that God dispatched, Janet into my mother's womb. And I believe that is very important to understand, to know that every child was thought of God even before we thought of them or planned for them or unplanned or planned for them. It has come from God. And therefore, God already decided there's going to be Janet. He then decided to put Janet in my mother's womb as a steward. God gave my mother a womb to help, nurture that child, incubate that child until they're ready for the world. But that is the role of stewardship. So it is important to know that we do not create children. We do not even decide, when a child should come. That is actually God who decides. And we are just but stewards of this person that God has given in our lives. And that is important to note, because then it influences how we bring up those children. One, knowing that this child is of God, and God, like Jeremiah, already has a purpose that he wants this child to do. We are just stewards to. God has assigned us that duty to bring them up to do what God wants them to do. So we are not the owners of these children. We are just stewards of these children. God has a purpose for them. God is the owner of those children. And if we live by faith, that is actually a very good place to sit, because if these children are of God, then God provides for these children. Then God provides everything these children need. And we should then by faith act like that towards God. When we're raising children, if these children need feast, God will provide feast. If these children, to fulfill their purpose, need a certain special thing, maybe a certain special college education or a certain kind of thing, then we go back to their owner, to their owner. You don't say, God, my child is out of school. God, your child, needs this thing, to accomplish the purpose that you have called them to do. So we are consistently working in partnership. So see yourself as a steward and not as the owner of that child. These are not small images of you that should accomplish what you want them to accomplish, to make you look like a good parent, a successful parent because they did well. No, you are just but a steward of this person that you carried, that God allowed you to create and bring up in this world. God bless you.